All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Ladder Legends replay analysis. Today we have one between Red and MedicJR. Both subscribers in the channel. Let's see what he said. Me and MedicJR, he plays very aggressively / YOLO style. I'm really interested in positioning and where I should be sieging my tanks to zone him out. He tends to keep most of his army together in order to jump on positions. I used to play this style until I found out it didn't work very well on higher level players. Trying a more methodic approach, but losing to it now. Also, not knocking him for playing this way. It wins games, but I'd like some thoughts on how to deal with it. I have several replays of him kicking my ass today. Okay. Let's see. So we're gonna go past the early game a little bit because this doesn't seem early game focused. It doesn't. You didn't specifically talk about having an issue with the early game, unless I see anything that's too egregious from either side. But we should be looking very similar from both. Factory, we're going Cyclone. Cyclone skips all the BS. I'm always a fan of opening Cyclone first. You have to, like, literally skip this phase. Like, yep. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Love you.
I love you too.
Have a good day.
I will. Bye, baby.
Bye. All right. Okay. This is the second TVT replay I have seen, though, in a row, Red, where the moment after our Cyclone does something amazing, we lose it immediately. So, maybe we should just be a little bit more conservative with where we put the clone. Because, like, imagine if we were sitting here, right? You could have got an easy kill on the clone. You're talking about him being aggro? Just let him come to you, then. You know? It's like, come to Papa Red right now. I got a whole bunch of units lost for you, free of charge. That tank looked at him menacingly. Third CC coming down, 3 tanks. Ravens on the way. Interference matrix. No interference matrix on the side of MedicJR yet. Or unless it's already done. It's already done. This third Raven coming out for him. Third CC also on the way. Everything for him is just slightly faster, but your supply is better. You're also making workers a little bit better as well. So this is one of the reasons why I think I prefer the Cyclone opener, because look at the difference in supply and workers. Like, you've actually been focusing on the macro, whereas he was having to focus on units to make and micro, plus his tech, like tech labs and siege tank production and all that, was later, right? So what that does is it results in you being, like, you held very well at the beginning, and even though you lost the Cyclone, we're up 10 supply now and 5 workers. The workers, we shouldn't really be up in workers, but... Okay, as far as positioning goes, well, let's see. So you scan his army. We're going for the attack. And we're landing the third. Okay. Sitting up the spotter marines. Very nice. Yeah, I was going to say they should go a little further. I think this guy should be like here. This guy should be here. And then this guy should be, like, at least over here. Because you want more. This is like a 5-second reaction time. We want, like, 10 to 15 seconds because of siege tanks, right? Siege tanks are super slow. So it's just like we want to have that kind of reaction time. Medics playing like Nico. No medevacs. Oh, there's one coming. But hey, he killed our spotter marine, so we should get everything sieged currently. What are we looking at right now? Okay, we were very, very slow to react to this. And what I mean by that is, like, if we go back, right? We go back and we take a look right here. I went a little too far back. Okay, you saw his army, yeah. And you see his army, and then we siege a tank. But that tells you that he's on our side of the map. So we need to be vying for position already. Like, probably... Tank here can cover this ramp pretty well. What will we send out here? We haven't really been making stuff out of our starport, if we've noticed. We see we don't have very many starport units going on here. We focused on getting our production up, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But we're gonna have some time before we can, like, actually clean this. Specifically, at least until stim is done. So, but this right here is kind of sloppy. Like, we have 4 tanks already unsieged. We want to be sieged. We can move the siege if we need to. That's the whole point of vying for defensive position, but like allowing him to come up here while we have one tank ready to go, even though like a spotter marine, and now we react. You see what I mean by like short reaction time with that, like with how close that marine is. So it's like that guy would have been wanted to be up here, of course, but we should have reacted more heavily to this marine right here being killed. Very nice. Okay, we disabled, but then we have 4 tanks on siege here. I mean, tanks do crazy damage. I'm not a hater, completely at least. Like, this is okay for you. We're still ahead in supply. Unfortunate. We siege that tank in that spot. We should get some repair going. Very nice. Got 2 medevacs coming in now. What are we gonna doom drop? Okay. He keeps catching us almost unsieged. Our combat shields is pretty late. Unfortunate. So you have to specifically click the tanks and hit stop command. I'm sure you know that already, though. Unfortunately, we're kind of shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit here. Without combat shields, it is pretty rough as well. So he's vying for it. Let's go back. So those 2 tanks are really exposed. These would be much better positioned if they were here and here, right? Because what else can he do? He could maybe siege right here and get some damage, killing some depots. I'm trying to think of, like, he could go here and hit your engineering base, but it's like with the 2 tanks here, as long as we position our Vikings as well, like let's just look at where the army goes, and then let's think about those 2 tanks. The army's right here, so if we were here, what's the tank range? It's out to here, so we move it back here, it'd probably be like here, so we could probably still keep this tank from doing anything, and then if we have that other tank here I was talking about, I think this entire choke is completely covered. So how do we want to go about this, right? These 2 tanks should not be this far forward without any support. Like, we don't have any support right here to help them. If we were here while these were already sieged and this is happening, we could stem in and actually probably just destroy this fight, as long as we had some good tank target fire. But because of that, we're kind of just losing tanks for free. If we look, we've lost 4 siege tanks so far to 2. So the siege tank count is currently 7 to 5, and we're about to lose 2 more. He's going to lose 1 if I'm not mistaken, so it's going to put the siege tank count at 6 to 3, which 6 to 3 is pretty rough. Also, another thing I haven't even mentioned yet, though, is like his 2-2 is significantly faster than yours. So we're going to be lagging behind. Like, your worker production's been fantastic. We just, I'm assuming, forgot the armory. Because our 1-1, we had 1-1 way faster than him, actually. We had combat shields way later, so that was the only reason why we couldn't take fights. But our 2-2 being this delayed is kind of a massive mistake, I feel like. Because it's just going to make taking these fights so much harder. Especially because we don't have do we have a second factory yet? Okay, once, like, I would much prefer to see a second factory, but, like, after 3 base, or, like, as the 3rd base is getting saturated, you can already just go put a second factory down in here, and then, maybe you could just have the timing of second factory plus armory, and then you get 2-2, and then +1 vehicle weapons for tanks as your 2 tank production starts up, right? So then it'll be 11 Marines at a time, or 9 Marines at a time on 5 racks, 2 tanks at a time, 2-2. Be looking like a standard Terran macro game from there. We're getting all this extra production. I don't like that it's at the front because all these positions tend to get sieged. These are 3 of your 8 barracks, right? So which means each one of these barracks is 12.5% of your marine production, and they're chilling at the front, which is not a place that we like to be chilling. Okay, you get a tank right there. That's good. Bringing you back 4 to 5. Tank count's really what matters here, especially because we're about to be down on upgrades, so we're not really vying for marine count. I do like that we're actually sending out a counterattack. Counterattacking is one of the best ways to vie for position against your opponent. Back off. So if they can't get in one way, they're most likely going to try to get in another, and you actually see this with the sensor tower. So you see him moving over here. So we're already moving our tanks. We should go ahead and move this tank too. And then we don't want to siege here, we want to siege here. And you might be like, oh, well, he can get in position on my CC. Okay, but we can lift the CC, you know. We can't keep losing tanks, especially when we're already in a tank deficit. The tanks are our most important asset. You know, he could kill our 4th base And as long as we max out on a fantastic army, we have a great chance of winning the game, right? So that's what we're trying to. We're vying for max out and wait on 2-2 at the moment. We haven't even started still. Well, man, this upgrade deficit is gonna be really rough to work with. Instead, we lose 2 tanks, and now he's also in position of the CC. You see what I mean? It's like if we were back here, you get at least 2 volleys off before these Marines even get close, and then this tank is also almost in range of those. So like tank here, and then we can start moving our other tanks as well. Not having a second factory tank production is actually killing you here, I think. Like he's producing double tank at a time, so it's like every single tank we lose like this is just, it hurts so much, right? So okay, you saw the doom drop. I don't know if you know. I don't think you're looking. I think you were looking actually. Let's see. We see him pick up for this doom drop. Oh, okay, so we were looking at the drop, which I don't hate necessarily, but man, it would have been nice to see him pick up in those medevacs, right? Because we could have picked all these guys up and then boosted to our main base as well. And if we do that, if we catch this drop, it's game over. Like, look how many units are in this drop. We got 3 full medevacs. All 5 medevacs are here. He doesn't. Does he actually go for it? No, he doesn't. Does he? Very nice. We do pull everything away. That's a mistake. You only need like 8 Marines here plus these 3 turrets, and you can gun down almost an infinite number of medevacs, right? So you really don't need to bring that many guys here. And unfortunately, it pulls us out of position. So he boosted, and then he boosted to the corner, and then he dealt with your drop, or like started looking back. So I don't think that he was. I think he was intending to commit and didn't, and pulling everything back there was just kind of unfortunate because you already had turrets, right? Like, you already have the defenses ready. We only need a few Marines here, and we can hold that. So it's just unfortunate. Now we're going to be down to what will be a 3rd base eventually. So we've lost 2 bases now. We're down to, it's 2-2 to 1-1, so it's not. We have so many Marines, actually. Okay, you get both tanks. This is what we call making plays right here, Red. I'm a fan. When in doubt, base traded out. Oh, we're super overstemmed. Okay, we kill a whole bunch of workers though, so we shouldn't go to the 3rd. We should go to the natural. You wanna. Well, it's a good thing you didn't. But normally you want to try to kill all the production, right? So we get a base. He also kills a base. We're making stuff still. Very nice. We have a lot of gas. All we need is minerals, so we just mule these out. We need minerals for now, not minerals for later. I like that we dropped on top, but this is just a story of upgrades, right? Like, the upgrades are killing us here. Very nice spread, a good attempt. GG well played is called, and Medic takes the game. Very nice, very well played, Medic. The upgrades kind of just killed you at the end, unfortunately. Like, the last 2.5 minutes or so, you were making some good plays. I think right here, actually, you probably could have cleaned because you had so many more Marines, but. And if we clean all those tanks, like imagine we kill all these tanks, right? That's 6 tanks. Now, granted, you did a ton of damage on the other side, and I really liked that move. But these are all things that are like, they're nice, but we're still down by 2 upgrades, right? And it's being down by 2 upgrades in Marine versus Marine it's just rough. Just every single engagement feels so rough. Hopefully this helps, Fred. If you have any questions, please do feel free to at me. I try to go over tank positioning as much as possible. This spot, really strong for tanks. This one. Also, I think vying for control of this is really strong for tanks as well, because tanks can go behind this mineral line. So not only can you cover the entrance right here, but you can cover the rotate up here. So it's like, if you can do both of those things, like just keeping track of their army and preemptively sieging where they are vying to go, getting free tank shots like that will make differences in those early game fights, and I think you'll notice it. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please consider subscribing, and make sure you check out Ladder Legends for the best coaching community around currently. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!